Hello, everyone, and a warm welcome to all you watching this video, and of course to all the Rediscover participants. My name is Damir, and I work as the head of marketing at Rentlio. In this video, we'll be introducing one of this year's event partners, the company called Smartness. Joining me today is Imke Raubach. I guess I did pronounce it right. If I didn't, please let me know. Imke works as account executive at Smartness. Imke, welcome, and thank you for taking the time to join us today. Before we dive deeper into today's topic, or let's say topics, could you briefly introduce yourself, tell us a bit more about your role and about the company?
So, hi, Damir. Thank you very much for the introduction, and it was pronounced perfectly right. I will introduce myself. My name is Imke Raubach. I'm account executive at Smartness and responsible for the DACH region and expanding now into the Balkan markets too. My role is all about helping hotels to unlock their full potential, not just through technology, but it's through smarter operations and stronger guest connections.
Okay, amazing. And I'm not sure how informed our audience at Rediscover is with the company. So maybe kind of like brief overview, what is like the main focus of Smartness? What are the main maybe features or products that you offer?
Okay, of course. Thank you so much. So at Smartness, we really believe in digital tools, how they empower people. Okay, so it's not about replacing them. So we focus to show hoteliers how to integrate system and work with AI. So to simplify their day-to-day business, drive profitability, and ultimate their team and hospitality. What hospitality is really about. That's what we do at
Okay.
Smartness.
Yeah, I think we'll cover more on this topic during, I would say, like next 5 to 10 minutes. So this year, Smartness will be present at Rediscover in several ways. So first thing, your COO and co-founder Tommaso will be giving a talk titled "When AI Work, You Can Host." Participants will also be able to meet you guys at a pop-up office, so right in the lobby at the Fortis Club where the conference will be held. And on November 14th, so let's say the second day of the event, you'll be hosting the workshop that is open to all interested attendees. But let's take it step by step. Let's start with the keynote. Could you tell us what we can expect from Tommaso's talk, and what are maybe like few key things that you would also like people to kind of like understand, take maybe like concrete actions when they lead the conference?
Okay, so the keynote of Tommaso is when AI works, you can host. So it says exactly that what we do in Smartness. So he goes a little bit deeper into how we use AI to let the hoteliers be hoteliers again. So that is what it will be about. I think it will be very interesting for a lot of hoteliers which will join.
Mm-hmm. When we are talking about AI, AI is kind of like a buzzword in today's, let's say, digital era. Usually, a lot of people, at least on internet, talk about AI replacing people. I do not think that will happen. I think that AI is here to help us, make us like better workers, make us more efficient, help us optimize maybe costs, generate more revenue. And I suppose also those are the things that Tommaso will be discussing during his keynote session. And also you mentioned those are the things that your company, actually the technology that you guys develop, kind of like those are the benefits that hoteliers can kind of like, right.
Exactly.
Okay. I do have a few questions regarding AI. So what do you think makes some hotels embrace AI quickly while others still hesitate? Do you think it's maybe a question of trust? Is it a question of cost, or is it maybe something else?
That is a very good question we deal with every day. Trust plays a big role because, of course, somebody who is maybe not so used to AI tools right now don't trust so much maybe tech providers. So this is for sure a big fact as also cost. But
Mhm.
honestly, I think more it's a mix of the mindset. So it depends always with whom you are speaking. If you speak with a really tech-affine person who also maybe in the private life uses more technology, they are maybe more open to try something new than maybe hoteliers which are using or no tool at all.
I would completely agree on the last part, on the thing you mentioned. And I think it also probably depends on the market. For example, many hotels in Croatia, and I would say in the region, still use legacy solutions. And in many cases, it's simply a matter of habit. Hoteliers are used to these old systems. They still get the job done, even though they are not that at maybe as advanced, or the maintenance is significantly more expensive. They aren't developed or updated frequently enough, but it does the job. And I think that from my experience working in the industry for the past 3 years, I do still think that what lacks on the market is education on the benefits and actual how to use like modern solutions, cloud solutions, and now even AI. Okay, so we are from companies that develop cloud solutions. We know the importance of connecting different tools and creating kind of like ecosystems that in the end give a real competitive edge on the market. So are there any examples, maybe practical ones you can share where changes, maybe like an example of what changes for a team once their PMS and maybe pricing tools and communication systems actually talk to each other and exchange information?
Yes, sure. There are different things which change if you have just one provider. First of all, is that if you have just one ecosystem and you have an all-in-one solution, of course, you do not have to switch anymore between so many different tools which are necessary during the day, but you have all the solutions in one interface and one dashboard. So you avoid to jump over to the
Mhm.
other tools. This is for sure one fact which is really like nice to have. Really important fact, I think more is about that you have just one team behind. So whenever there's any question, you know who to speak to, you know where you can go, where you can address it to, without that maybe different tech providers saying, no, it's not my fault, or we have to check with the other provider and so on. So everything in one hand, you have a really fast solution and it's easier to handle. Of course, also about the data. So often we hear that maybe a system from one provider that is not so well connected with the system of another
Mhm.
provider. So of course, all the data sources are one. So the real-time data is there every time when I exceed and I don't have problems to communicate to the other two.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I would say one of the things that differentiates Rentlio on the market compared to other, not just legacy solutions, but also some cloud solutions, is that we are a three-in-one solution. You get, I'm talking to you about Rentlio, which is like developed exclusively for 5 years. You get a PMS, channel manager, and a booking engine in one. So basically, the exchange of data is seamless. There are no discrepancies between data and so on. But also, what we see from our users that use Rentio Pro, but also integrate seamlessly with tools like for upselling, for revenue management, for housekeeping, and even more, they do achieve better results both in terms of cost optimization and increased revenue. And I suppose that is also something that we need to talk and discuss more. And I'm looking forward to also hearing Tomas's talk and maybe if he touches also those, let's say, pain points that most of the hoteliers on the local market, I would say, definitely experience. Okay, so we did mention like generating more revenue, working more efficiently, and so on. We often hear that cloud solutions. Let's talk about maybe about AI. We often hear that AI saves time, but what kind of time are we talking about? Is it like a generic term, or what is the actual type of time that we are talking when we are saying AI saves time?
Yeah, it saves time in really a lot of different ways. So first of all, of course, the manual time really when I
Yeah.
work on something. So for example, if we speak about managing pricing manually, for example, of
Mhm.
course, if I do a little bit of dynamic pricing, what I should do to compete with the market and everything to, of course, gain more. And I have to put time in that to see when events are, when holidays are, and maybe compare online with my competition and so on. If this is
Mhm.
already done automatically, of course, it's really time saving. But I think speaking really about smartness, the best example in this case is the guest journey. So for example, there is one product, just to give an example, which saves 2.5 hours time each day to the hotelier because the chatbot, we prefer to call it agent,
Mhm.
answers 24/7 to the requests of customers which are already there or which are to come. So of course, I don't have to reply in the moment. So this is time saving. But even my guest, and this is more important, gets an amazing service because he receives the answer right away, even if he writes in the evening late or in the night.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that whenever we talk about technology and what, in my opinion, how hoteliers to think of technology, of course, what are the benefits that I can experience, but also what we can what's the added value the technology actually gives to our guests. We also have our PMS system, and also we have our dog scan. Let's say it's combination of software and hardware. Is basically a scanner that scans ID, for example, and they check in just by using that the dog scan tool, which is integrated with our PMS. You can basically do check-in process within like 20 or 30 seconds, which is not like it usually is like 5 or even 6 minutes. Imagine during summertime and when there's a lot of people waiting at the hotel, how that affects their whole experience. So yeah, definitely lots of time both for hoteliers and myself for guests. Um, I would say that Smartness is definitely a company that looks ahead of the time, in terms of developing features that are integrating, let's say, AI capabilities. But I want to hear from you, looking from your perspective, like looking ahead, what excites you most about how AI will continue evolving in hospitality, let's say, over the next few years?
That's a really nice question. I really like the question because I'm managing some holiday homes by myself.
Oh, cool.
So I see that also from the other side. I really like that it's so much, it makes life so much easier. And that's
Mhm.
why I also see where it's going to be. Of course, we want to spend more time with the guests, or so of course it's really, really interesting to have that time free. And I think more it goes on, more the hoteliers have again the possibility to do um, what they want to do. So to stay with the guests, to give a good service, and so on. Because with all the rules which came in that we have to do, and all the things we have to do on the desk, actually,
Mhm.
we lose the time with our guests, and that's a pity. So I think more and more evolves AI, more and more the connections between systems are better, and we don't see anymore that it's really AI. So it helps not just the hotelier, but also the guests to feel at home, to
Mm.
feel better.
Okay, so what I managed to learn so far about Smarta is that the company and the product is definitely built around both technology and people. Um, okay, we did mention a few things how technology helps both hoteliers or, let's say, property owners. Um, is there maybe like a specific example you can share on how smartness helps properties deliver more personal experiences through tech? Okay, we mentioned like time saving and so on. Is there anything else you can share with us?
Yes, time saving, of course, gaining more revenue. So yeah, it's a multi-product. So you gain more revenue, not just because of the dynamic pricing, but also because, for example, you have more guests. Because when you have maybe low season, we also work on the price and with the strategy, with the house, with the structure itself, to also get more guests. This is one thing. Of course, we also generate more direct bookings. So that is another thing, what is really important. Just to, not just for the direct bookings, so to pay maybe less commissions for the hotel, but also to have the direct contact, to be the person you refer to when you come to the hotel. And also that is already with AI possible. So there are
Mm.
many different ways how to simplify the day-to-day life of a hotelier, and also give him more time back.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you, Imke, on explaining and sharing that part. Let's talk a bit more about the next thing, and the next thing is pop-up office. So I mentioned earlier that Smartness will also be present at the pop-up office. There will be you and Tommaso. Am I right?
Yes, you're right.
Okay, so could you give us a bit of an insight into what participants will be able to learn from you there and experience maybe firsthand? Of course, you will have, I suppose, your laptops, and there will be a big TV with a big screen. You can share, I suppose, the interface and how to use your solution. But is there anything specific, maybe like a practical example they will be able to see?
Yes, of course. So first of all, we would be happy to have the possibility to speak to Croatian hoteliers.
Mhm.
We want to show the hotelier how he can earn more revenue, what is really important today with when you have a lot of really big chains which are pushing on the market. Okay, so this is one fact, but of course it's a pleasure also to show a little bit more how we do that. So practical showing of the tools, of the different tools. How do we do that? And of course, we're always open for questions.
Awesome, awesome. We'll do our best to generate as much interest into all our partners there as we do every year. Okay, and the last thing I mentioned, finally on November 14th, you'll be hosting the workshop. Of course, the workshop will be open to all interested participants. The title of the workshop is Smart Technology, Human Hospitality, Putting the Hotel and its Guests First. Okay,
Perfect.
so what do you have planned for the workshop? What we can expect and all the people that join the session, and maybe what are the key messages you'd like to take them away?
I always like to start with hearing from the hotels what is going on. So workshop is to give something from us, but I really like to understand the market because it's really important, first of all, for us to understand what do the hotels need, what are the actual topics they maybe have to deal with or they have trouble with. So I always like to open with a nice conversation regarding these things. And after, of course, show a little bit how smartness um, is facing this type of problems.
Awesome. Awesome. Perfect, Imke. That's it. Thank you once again for your time. To everyone watching this video, I definitely strongly invite you to sign up for the workshop, learn more about the technology that Smartness is developing and all the benefits it can bring to you and to your business. And see you all soon on November 13 at the Fortis Club.
Thanks to you, we are really, really looking forward.
Looking forward to it too. Bye.
Bye.